Good evening, everyone, and congratulations, class of 2018. I want to start by saying that it is an honor to be included in this ceremony and to share in this joyous occasion with all of you. Thank you to President Engelmeyer for having me here today and for bestowing upon me this honorary doctorate. I also want to recognize and congratulate my fellow degree recipients, M. Marcus Moran, Jr. and Marilyn Fells, or should I say Dr. M. Marcus Moran, Jr. and Dr. Marilyn Fells. We have students here today at so many exciting crossroads, receiving associate degrees, bachelor degrees, and master degrees. These are all wonderful achievements, and this is a great milestone for all. Graduates of Nichols College, class of 2018, please stand up and let us all give you a standing ovation. To the family and friends who are here to celebrate the class of 2018, I salute you all for your support, your encouragement, and your love, all of which has brought us to this moment. Let us also give you a round of applause. As I was preparing this speech for all of you today, I was trying to think of what message I wanted to get across. And I could not help but think about my daughter and the personal statement she wrote for her medical applications a few months ago. In her essay, she discussed her unusual childhood. We moved around a lot as a family, usually every 8 to 10 months, as I worked producing movies all over the world, and she had to restart in a new city or country each time. Every day, before her first day of school in a new place, I would reassure her with one of my favorite sayings: "Fear makes the wolf bigger than he is." It became something of a motto for me. When she went off to college in New York City and was anxious about living on her own, I reminded her, "Fear makes the wolf bigger than he is." When she got her first job and was startled by how much responsibility she was given so quickly, I reminded her, "Fear makes the wolf bigger than he is." When she was studying for the MCAT and was scared she wouldn't score highly enough to get into medical school, I reminded her again, "Fear makes the wolf bigger than he is." Now, why did I keep repeating this message to my daughter? It's not some elaborate, philosophical, life-changing notion, but that is exactly why I like it, because it is plain, and it is simple, and it is real. In my daughter's essay, she explained that not for too long she had allowed her fears to stand in the way of achieving her dreams of becoming a doctor. She went on to explain that she needed to be reminded of her strengths to knock down the fear she had allowed to take control. After she tied this all to the quote, "Fear makes the wolf bigger than he is." You're all about to start new journeys into the real world. And although it sure is exciting, it can also be quite daunting. I want all of you to remember this saying when you're going for your first job interview, or when you're about to take a risk, or when you're scared to reach for your dream. I hope if years from now you don't remember a single word from my speech today, you just remember the phrase, "Fear makes the wolf bigger than he is." And let that serve as your reminder to chase whatever dreams you have. I would not be standing here in front of all you today if I hadn't taken the same advice. I started at Nichols in 1959 and graduated in 1963. I was a part of the first class to start and finish under a four-year banner. When I first entered Nichols, it was a school of 600 men. Today, it is about double that size, full of extremely talented students, both men and women. Nichols was a great choice for me. At the time, I was planning on following in my father's footsteps and was going to take over his retail men's clothing business. But it's funny how things happen in life. After my graduation from Nichols, while waiting to embark on a military journey in the United States Army Reserves, one Sunday morning, I was kicked out of bed and out the door to help a friend of my dad's who was filming a TV commercial at nearby JFK Airport. They needed to use my old sports car in part of the commercial. I was not thrilled to be doing this, especially for my father's friend, since it was one of my days to sleep in. I begrudgingly showed up to the set, and what happened there would change my life forever. Watching my dad's friend and the rest of the crew work on the commercial, I was mesmerized. I was just fascinated by every little thing, all the technicians and their equipment, all the organization and coordination that went into the 60-second TV spot. I was hooked. I just had to be part of it. I went home and crushed my parents by telling them that I was no longer going to take over the family business, but instead, I was going to sweep floors and make coffee on TV commercial sets. On my first day on the job, I arrived very early. In those days, we didn't have timers to start the coffee machines. I ran over to 9th Avenue in Manhattan to the local A&P to buy the coffee. I rushed back to the studio and filled the machine with the beans. Everyone was anxiously standing around waiting for the coffee to brew. When the first cup came out almost clear, one of the irate crew members took the lid off the pot and said, "Who didn't grind the beans?" This was the first lesson I learned, one of the most important lessons I learned in show business. You need to make sure the beans are ground before you put them in the coffee maker. I slowly worked my way up, moving to California in the process, to work more and more full-length motion pictures, and eventually I became a film producer. Some of the pictures I produced include Scarface, The Rock, Tomb Raider 2, Carlito's Way, and The Bone Collector, just to name a few. People often ask me, based on my resume, what's the formula to picking a successful movie? Well, to be quite honest, I'm still trying to figure that one out myself. If someone had come to me with the idea of making a film about parents who go on a trip and accidentally leave their child behind, I would have said that's the most ridiculous idea I ever heard of. Who knew Home Alone would be such a hit? But I digress. The motion picture business has given me opportunities I never imagined I would have. If I had to sum up filmmaking, I would have to say that no one person makes a film. Film is a collaborative effort. It is an international language. It has made me a jack of all trades. I love the experience of tasting all of the different aspects of the world. I have taken a bath in the hot springs of Japan. I have eaten with the women who dive for pearls. I have watched Russian tanks roll through the streets of Moscow. I have slept in tents outside of Nairobi, Kenya, and I have been to events with the Queen of England. Living in these places for an extended period of time, I have also eaten food with the locals, I have shared their drinks, I have lived amongst them in their lifestyles, and I have formed lifelong friendships. I am lucky to have had a wealth of experiences that I have acquired with the many years of filmmaking on the road. But let me get back to where it all started, and the reason we are all here today, Nichols College. Nichols' mission statement reads, and I quote, "Within a supportive community, Nichols College transforms today's students into tomorrow's leaders through a dynamic, career-focused business and professional education," end quote. Nichols accomplished its mission with me, and by virtue of all of you being here today, the school accomplished its mission with you too. Nichols was a dream come true for me. I was not an A student when I entered Nichols, but I was when I left. I realized only after almost failing out in my first year that I was squandering an incredible opportunity that Nichols was giving me. The opportunity to grow and to learn. And learn I did. Nichols prepared me for what life had to offer. Never when I was attending Nichols did I think that I have to put my knowledge to work in different parts of the world. Nichols College gave me a foundation to build upon. It gave me the wherewithal to make movies with budgets from $350,000 to $200 million and bring these pictures home for the most part on schedule and on budget. Not only that, Nichols College gave me the knowledge and confidence to deal with whatever life threw at me. This was due in part to the small, intimate atmosphere. It was also due to the professors who would give me that extra special attention and help that I needed to succeed. Nichols gave me the educational groundwork, and my experiences while at Nichols shaped me into an individual who was prepared for the real world. Without Nichols' foundation, I would not have been able to succeed from a business standpoint. Don't get me wrong. My hard work and my willingness to start at the bottom and work my way up the ladder played a big part. But it was Nichols College that gave me the structure, the training, and the business knowledge to be able to accomplish that. That is why I am so honored to stand here in front of you today. I'm no one special. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn, New York. But I serve as living proof that with an education from Nichols College and with a lot of hard work, tenacity, and grit, you can achieve anything you want. I did not let fear stand in my way, and I hope all of you won't either. With that, I want to say thank you very much for letting me share in this momentous day, and most importantly, congratulations to the class of 2018.
So on behalf of the entire Nichols College community, we thank you all for joining us. Mrs. Luby?